Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another Magic Arena Explorer video. So today we are playing some Golgari plants. You could call this deck Golgari Sacrifice, you could probably call it Golgari Delver, but I'm going to call it Golgari Plants because we are playing the new Insidious Roots card, which is an enchantment from Murders at Karlov Manor. It is black-green for an enchantment that says creature tokens you control have tap, add 1 mana of any colour. And then whenever one or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create a 0/1 green plant creature token, then put a +1/+1 counter on each plant you control. So the idea behind this deck is essentially just getting as many things coming in and out of our graveyard as possible, and then triggering our Insidious Roots as many times as we can to just generate an army of ever-growing plants, which not only add mana, but can eventually just take down the opponent with large plant creature tokens, which is always fun. So to that end, we have cards which kind of synergize well with getting things out the graveyard. So we have Cauldron Familiar and Witch's Oven. So we have that particular combination so that we can sacrifice it, create a food, then sacrifice the food to bring the cat back, and every time it leaves the graveyard, it will trigger the Insidious Roots. Similarly with Rubble Belt Maverick, so this is a 1/1 new card with Surveil 2 when it enters the battlefield, but you can pay a green and exile it from your graveyard to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. So that does a similar kind of also leaving the graveyard, triggering the Insidious Roots. And then we've also got 3 copies of Deathrite Shaman, so this is a staple in Timeless, if you've seen any of those videos that I've done from time to time. But this one exiles all manner of things from the graveyard, including creatures, so you can then use that as well to trigger Insidious Roots. Along similar lines to the Roots, we have a Willowgeist, so this similarly this is a 1/1 with Trample, and whenever one or more cards, so not just creatures, but one or more cards leave your graveyard, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. So this kind of complements that strategy a little bit as well. So it's a very low to the ground curve. You can see we've got 23 cards which just cost 1 mana. So it's a very low curve. But our 2 drops include 4 copies of Priest of Forgotten Gods. So this is a good way of getting creatures into the graveyard while accumulating value. Makes the opponent sacrifice a creature, they lose 2 life, and we add 2 mana and draw a card. Satyr Wayfinder just helps fuel our graveyard but also hit our land drops. We are only running 21 lands, I think, possibly 20. Hang on, let me do a quick count. 12, 13, 20 lands, so we will want to be able to get up to 3 or 4 lands at least. And then we are running 3 copies of Tyvar Jubilant Brawler, so this does a similar thing of allowing us to mill 3 cards, then return a creature card with mana value 2 or less from our graveyard to the battlefield. So again, gives us something that leaves the battlefield, creates a plant, triggers our Willowgeist. It's all of a type. And then our final card, non-land card that is Pelucranos Unchained. So this is 4 mana for a 0/0 that comes in as 6/6. You can then escape it for 6 mana. In which case it comes back as a 12/12, but it is a very big creature that can fight other creatures, so that is our kind of top end. Then, as I say, our mana base is only 20 lands, fair few dual lands. We are running some Fabled Passages just to help fuel our graveyard and potentially our Deathrite Shaman as well for its first ability. A few basic lands to then fetch with our Fabled Passage, a couple of Hive of the Eye Tyrant, and a Lair of the Hydra as well. Then in the sideboard we have Gigantha, as this deck does fulfill those requirements, those mana requirements, although it doesn't if we bring in Aklazot, so that's worth bearing in mind. 4 copies of Thoughtseize, so another 1 drop to bring in just to disrupt the opponent's hand. Mosswood Dreadknight similarly allows us another creature that in the right colours that will is not only very hard for the opponent to get rid of, provides incremental advantages, incremental value, but also will leave the graveyard whenever you cast it as an adventure, so that's worth bearing in mind. 2 copies of Damping Sphere, just shutting off Nykthoses and Lotus Fields. Graveyard Trespasser, a good way of eating at the opponent's graveyard. Could also do our own as well, so again, exiling a creature from our own graveyard not only gives us that gain 1, drain 1 life from the opponent ability, but similarly triggers our other cards. As I say, we've got an Aklazot's as well, so this is a good way of sort of just disrupting the opponent's hand. Very kind of big, powerful, life-linking creature. And again, it dies, it comes back as a land, leaves the graveyard. It's all of a type, it's all within the same synergy. And then a couple of Murderous Cuts as well, just as additional removal with Delve. So hopefully, given how much stuff will be looking to put in the graveyard, this will always be a 1 or 2 mana removal, unconditional removal spell. So that is the deck, Golgari Plants. This should be an interesting one. I have faced the Insidious Roots in one match so far in the last couple of weeks. We did win, but it looked quite powerful at the time, so let's give it a go. Thank you very much for watching. As ever, hit those like and subscribe buttons. Always appreciate the support. And yeah, let's go on to the ladder. Yeah, this will do for an opening hand, I think. Relatively cheap on the old wild cards, this deck, actually. Interesting. Okay, well, let's get Rubble Belt Maverick down. I don't need a Wayfinder, but I'll keep the Priest. Let's drop Priest of Forgotten Gods into play here. That's fine, it'll come back. So they are the Lotus field version of the deck, but they don't have a field. Okay, that's good to know, so let's play Insidious Roots. Kill that. Because it's cramping my style.
This fight for century, never give up.
Bring back Priest. Have a plant. I think we're alright just to attack for the moment. Ooh. Okay.
You show remorse. Keep up the pace.
So let's go fetch another swamp. Crack a clue on our Maverick. And crack a clue on our Priest. That can go in the bin. Bop to Fairy for 4.
Well, that didn't pan out.
Play a Wayfinder. I'll untap Priest. Okay, didn't manage to kill Teferi there, which was a shame. But, so they will get some advantage off him. So I imagine they're going to discontinuity me. Next turn. Doesn't actually involve them doing anything, so it's not the end of the world, but... Yep. Do we want to do anything in response? Let's sack some creatures, actually.
We need to move quickly.
Fine. Not much of a interesting turn. So let's kill that. So, Rubble Belt Maverick. Let's activate Hive of the Eye Tyrant. The main thing is just making sure that Teferi dies here. Yep.
Really should have seen that coming.
Now we can untap Priest again.
We can do this all day.
Okay, so start by minusing Tyvar.
Rally, my friend.
Bring back Priest. Familiar. Into Familiar. That's Maverick. Get rid of both of those. Maverick again. Get rid of both of those. So we're certainly filling up the graveyard here. This should probably do. So let's sack both our rubble belts. Now we can start powering up our things. Sack some stuff. Untap Priest. Polish them off. Okay. So the opponent had a little bit of an unlucky mulligan there, but we kept them in check. So let's put in Damping Sphere and Thoughtseize. Do I want Aclazots here? Yeah, I think I do, actually. Let's put in Aclazots in place of Pelucranos. Fatal Push is actually okay against Strict Proctor, so maybe we'll leave that in. We'll take out Willowgeist and one Deathrite Shaman. And I think we'll leave the rest of it as it is. Oop, yep, good point, good point. Must always remember that. This hand does nothing to disrupt what they're doing is the problem, and that is a hand with no land. Okay, this will do for now. So let's pop back Wayfinder and Familiar here. No. Yep. No. Oh god, what do I get rid of here? No, I think I've got to keep it like this, unfortunately. So let's open with a Thoughtseize. Well, let's take the Teferi here. I think I'm willing to let this get eaten by No More Lies. Yep. Okay, well at least we have Damping Sphere to follow up with. Drawing both Fatal Pushes is not ideal, but hopefully we can draw into something better. Yeah, I'll let that get eaten again.
Sorry, I may hold that thought.
His opponents, they always manage to draw more things. I got rid of this, and he's even a different art just to annoy me. Okay, we'll scoop this one up. We had to mulligan to 5, and it was pretty unfortunate. Let's put in Dread Knight, actually, as it's quite hard to deal with. Take out a couple of Satyr Wayfinders and a Priest. And go again. Go again. This'll do. Priest on its own feels a little sad, but this hand has Damping Sphere, so I will play Swamp just in case they have Strict Proctor or something. So let's stick a Cauldron Familiar into play. Crack a map. No! Crack another map. No, I don't want another cat. Fine. This is pretty rough. Okay. Well, let's activate Hive of the Eye Tyrant.
I'm home. I am almost sad to see you go.
Drawing 3 of our Fatal Pushes is not really where I want to be, to be honest.
Try not to. Guards, to me.
If you show remorse, keep up the pace.
See if we can get Tyvar into play. We can.
This will be quick. We're in this together.
Stick another +1/+1 counter on our cat.
Hurry.
Yeah, they have 7 cards in hand, which doesn't make me feel amazing. Yes, main phase your memory deluge, see if I can. Huh. Can't really play that at the moment, unfortunately, because it's obviously going into a counterspell.
I'm getting too old for this.
I don't know what they're looking for. They've got a million cards. Probably a wrath of some description.
No time for a break.
Yep. I think I've got to try and land Aklazots here. Nope. Ah, that was annoying. Never mind, we move on. Yeah, this is a pretty reasonable opening hand. Got a fair few good things. Can So let's play Maverick. I don't think we need either of those at this point. Yeah, the opponent's on Grixis colours. Interesting. So let's play Priest of Forgotten Gods. Oh, are they running a creativity deck, perhaps? Oven. Okay. Play Insidious Roots. What is it? What's a Decayed do? Can't block. Yep. So we'll play another Roots. We'll say bore off to your Goblin token. That's fine. Much rather they used it on that than anything else, to be honest. No creativity. That's what we like to see. Satyr Wayfinder. To Deathrite Shaman. Let's get this out the graveyard. Start making some plants. him. Hmm. We will eat their Atraxa just in case they have some way of bringing him back. We'll play Willowgeist. I would very much like an actual way of bringing back, getting some stuff out the graveyard, but in the absence of that, we'll just keep attacking. Not with that, though. Sure. We will... Wait, which one's the copy? We'll kill the one that isn't the copy. No and no. Well, I'm doing a bang-up job of putting things in the graveyard, but this is good. This will probably do now. So let's send all of these at the opponent. Yep. Okay, so if they're playing creativity, or which looks like they are, then I want Thoughtseize. I definitely want Fatal Push, I want Murderous Cut, I just want anything that kills their creatures, really. What don't I want? Pelucranos is probably a bit on the slow side. Deathrite Shaman just dies. So does Willowgeist, so let's trim those. Anything else I want here? Mosswood Dread Knight is probably actually quite good here instead of Willowgeist. Yeah, rips right like that. This'll do. Ooh, you cheeky man. Let's take... Okay, so let's Transmogrify instead. That's fine. Let's take their Transmogrify. Let's draw with Dread Knight. And we'll play it. Fully expecting this to be countered. Yep. Somewhat annoying that I'm stuck with a... So let's just play an Insidious Roots. Doesn't do anything, but... Typhoon, sure thing. We'll go a land fetching. Grab a forest. We can just put Gigantha in our hand here, actually, I think, just because while we have Fatal Push available, it's, they can't really Transmogrify. Let's kill that. Not today, Satan. Pop Cat into play. I am going to hold up Murderous Cut and then probably kill that at the end of their turn if they don't try and Transmogrify it. Yep. Cat. Ooh, yes to both of these. Gigantha. Okay, well, let's just play Thoughtseize. Take their Fatal Push. Debate Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Well, it doesn't really matter, but... So we'll give them a target for their Volcanic Spite. Get rid of this. This double Fable is a bit rough. Well, let's force them to use it without the card value, I think. Yep, stick that in the oven. Pass the turn. Okay. Yep, no, they got us there. We are not getting out of that one. So, Leyline of the Void was pretty devastating in that game, so don't really have any good answers to it, to be honest. Do we have anything that can get rid of Leyline? Oh, really. So we're just running it back here and hoping they don't have it. That may be a flaw of the sideboard. Do your worst. That's pretty bad. Just hope some of our creatures survive long enough. Witch's Oven is no good to us here, but I'll keep a Fatal Push. Okay. Let's keep the cat, actually. Get rid of the push. Okie dokie. Yeah, I think this is worth it. We get a card. Yeah, we're getting massacred by Leyline of the Void in this matchup. I think pretty obvious flaw in the sideboard that that we don't have an answer to it. So let's hit them with a Thoughtseize. Yeah, take their Transmogrify, Fatal Push that. I mean, may as well play Insidious Roots here. Doesn't do anything, but... at least this way they're not hard casting an Atraxa. Okay, we're going down to a pretty ignominious defeat here. Yeah, that was a rough couple of matches. Not good. Maybe Insidious Roots is not all it's cracked up to be. I mean, I don't think anyone cracked it up to be anything, to be honest, but I thought I'd give it a go. Does not seem to have worked, unfortunately. But that is sometimes how it goes. I mean, yeah, I think you clearly need some artifact or enchantment hate, so maybe a couple of... maybe instead of Murderous Cut, you put in the Tear Asunder, just to help deal with that. Yeah. Yeah, no, this deck didn't perform, unfortunately. But let me know in the comments if you've seen any variations of this that you think are any good. And in the meantime, hit those like and subscribe buttons. I'm always willing to try new things, even if they don't always work out. And yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.